welcome to another video of S3. I'm supposed to do it every week, even though I did not do this video last week. Alright, we have a couple of things to discuss. If you hear some horns, that's because I live in the city. I will try to edit these out as much as possible. Okay, blog is open. I have the list here that you can see on the right, and I'm going to focus on that. So yeah, actually, I enjoyed making the S3 video last time. You know, I'm learning to, I don't know if relax is the right word for it, but it's becoming easier to record and speak because I can edit a lot of things out. I can change things. Now I think I got the hang of it yet. It's still not crispy clean, but you can definitely read the text. And yeah, it's much easier. It has a much better workflow, and it makes it less of a difficulty to just record these videos. And I hope to do that more often in general. That's that. I have a couple of topics that I want to bring up this week. And the week before that, since I skipped that, we're gonna go to, I'm gonna go back up to a post I want to start, which is, let's spin, there we go. He talks about video games, which is something I spend a lot of time on, and this particular tells you what kind of like lessons about yourself video games can teach you. In general, I would like, of course, all the games that I'm playing to work on Linux. That's part of my thing here. Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm playing on Linux. So yeah, I want to focus on games that have something to teach me, an angle on life lessons, if you will. This is what I wrote here. I have a couple of games in mind that I want to do that with and just record playthroughs on that, you know. Okay, I'll keep talking. As you can see, the photo challenge that I was talking about last time is continuing. It's for an entire month of March. Some of the photos are better than others. Some of them I took specifically, like this one, for the challenge. Some of them, like this one, are actually I took way before that. And this particular one I like a lot. This is from a balloon, a hot air balloon in New Mexico. Another thing I want to talk about is actually, if I go down all the way, you're going to see something weird. We're going to take you, there are 5 pages to this blog. We're going to go to all the posts. We're going to actually change this to 5, which is the first post. Now this is the first post on Micropost, but if you on Microblog. But if you keep going down, I actually had COVID when I started. Take a look at this post, you will see that the date on it is a little bit weird. It's 2019. And this post, Libra and Clothes, is 2018. What the heck is going on, right? So what I did is I started taking posts out of my old blog, which you can access here under old blog, top right. This opens, you can actually view the blog live still on 95. And this is my old blog, the way it used to look like. And in here, there are posts going, yeah, if you go back, you can see it goes, here's, if you go down here, you'll actually see posts that I put over there. So let's go back to my blog. I don't take every post that I created in the past and throw it in here. These posts are lightly edited. There was actually an interesting discussion on Mastodon about if you're allowed to edit posts from the past, right? I'm actually of the opinion that you shouldn't edit them content-wise. Like, you shouldn't change what the post says. I don't know. And you know, you can't really change the point you're trying to make or your opinion, because I think that's kind of like cheating. For me, that's how I feel. I did edit for some grammatical errors, typos, things like that, links that are broken and want to work. I was trying to iron these out. So that did take place. Um, but I don't change the tone of the post and what I did back then, which today I can look at this and I'd be like, oh, this is horrible. How did I write like this? You know, like, or this is wrong. I should change that. And you know, because you want to leave it in context. I have a point here that I wanted to bring up about the photos again, just, you know, FYI that it's interesting. So if we actually need to go, this photo is a phone. I was going through some photos. This one is with the phone. This one though, for example, I wonder if I can make it bigger if I open, yeah, look at this, if I open it in a new tab. This is a small little spider. That I took with my camera, and more importantly, I use Darktable, which is Darkroom, Adobe Darkroom for Linux, but I would argue that, I don't know if it's more powerful or not, I don't really use Darkroom, but it has a lot of features and filters, and it's very well built. This photos that you see here, actually, originally, it was a cloudy day with pretty poor lighting and everything was kind of flat. Of course, you couldn't see the spider webs that well, and the spider itself was dark. But using Darktable, I was able to pull out the colors and the contrast and find those little web, you know, strings here that make this really nice. So just, you know, this is maybe a hint of what I'm going to try to get into in the future. Taking photos with a camera that actually has more depth. I mean, you can probably do it with an iPhone today. And again, this is done in a Linux program that it works great, and it's completely, of course, free. Everything on Linux is mostly free. So here you go, is a great photo you can do with Linux. I'll try to get more into that in the future if there's. Okay, over here, see, let's go to the wiki, some changes that happen in the wiki. So I worked on the microblog. I don't think you're necessarily going to see anything specific. I included some changes here. I forget what the specific updates were, actually. But the microblog post has the microblog article, you know, instructions have more details, slightly more details that I worked on. If you're curious about microblog, or if you are viewing this from microblog, go to Captain Log. I can go through here, but you can go through the Captain Log, go to the most recent one, which is down here, and there are details of what I did. This is where I put more details about the wiki, right? So not a sip. I did work on 3 things. I don't want to go over it a whole lot in here. You can read this, but what is nice is that there is Markdown plugin that was updated on TiddlyWiki, which again is the search. It's not the search engine, Habit. It is the engine, the wiki that I'm using. Both Emacs and TiddlyWiki understand Markdown. And this allows me to write more content, hopefully, in the wiki. There is a couple of challenges and problems. If you're interested in that, you can read this post here. Okay, let's close everything, go back home. There are a couple of articles that I pulled into the greenhouse. Well, I need to expand this to show you. More articles were added under KeePassXC. I'm slowly working toward making this getting it out of the greenhouse so people can read it, because in my opinion KeePass is one of important tools here that people should know about. I have a couple of niche topics that might be less familiar. You know, KeePass in itself is one level, then KeePassXC is another level, and then how to work with KeePassXC, for example, in Firefox is another level. But how do you work it in LibreWolf, which is what I'm using, is another level. So, you know, we're becoming more and more specific. And there's a couple of things that I've learned and I want to share with you, so you can use this beautiful password managing password manager. I want to say password managing software, similar. You know, it's an awesome tool. KeePassXC is really a great tool, especially when you have it synced across different devices. What I was specifically working on is integrating with Firefox, which allows actually have it up here. How to make this work? This is still written. I need to. It's written from my own notes. I need to make sense out of it. Under Emacs, I was exporting macros, which I think is an essential tool if you work with Emacs. I don't use it as often as I should, but this is basically running your small programs to automate things. Excuse me. This is just awesome. Like you just do a certain things, like a certain thing that you're going to do 50 times. You record yourself do it once, and then you can just play it. You know, and you can just you don't even have to press play 50 times. You just tell it, please run this macro 50 times, and it does it for you. That's oversimplification, but this is an explanation on how to use contents of the sources. I mean, sorry, has table. Oh, that's a mistake. See that table of content right here is actually something that is an export of the Emacs that I need to take out. I mean, and then that's it actually. That's the end of the list of my S3 of the last 2 weeks pretty much. I have, of course, I have more. If we go on the blog, you can read most of what I do here and updates. Again, they're here for you. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, the best way is through Fastodon, where I'm under JTR, fastodon.org. And my blog account, when I post the blog, it's under the art of not asking why, as you can see in my domain. These are the 2 ways to get in touch with me if you're curious. All right, that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed that bit. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, thank you.